This show contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Movies with Ron, movies with Ron.
Hell yeah, motherfucker.
Movies with Ron.
Okay. Vic Morrow arrives at the pearly gates and is greeted by St. Peter. And Peter's like, just a second, Vic. I gotta sort out your paperwork. So, what are you doing later? You gonna hang around? Vic Morrow's like, I didn't hang myself. I was decapitated by a helicopter blade. And St. Peter realizes. And he's like, I guess we both lost our heads today. Yeah.
This is horrible.
Welcome to episode 130 of Movies with Ron, the podcast where my older brother recaps a movie from beginning to end for me and you, because we like his versions better. It's okay if you've seen the movie or not. The experience is unique. So let's get it on. I'm Chris, your MC for the time being. Here with me tonight, Nurse Candy.
Hey, everybody.
And here he is, folks.
He's the ball cracker, death on foot. You know him, you love him. He's Ron.
Ron.
Hey, Ron.
Hey,
Ron.
guys.
Folks, you've been listening to Ron for a while. You ever wondered what he looks like? If you've ever wanted to know what Ron looks like, watch the movie MacGruber. Val Kilmer in the movie MacGruber is Ron.
That one's for the upper decker you left me.
And if you don't approve, Ron, blame Megan.
No, it's fine. I'll take it. Could do worse.
Hey, I watched Phantoms. I showed Megan Phantoms from 1998.
I love
Oh, yeah?
Phantoms.
Oh, man.
I almost did that movie like a couple weeks ago.
Really?
I still think it has potential. It's just such the part when they first get into the city or this town and they're just looking at all the abandoned shit. And it's scary.
Yeah.
Fucking eerie. And then Ben Affleck shows up.
And everything just gets better from there.
But the effects are decent. It's this cheesy CGI, but they put like a milk screen over it. Everything that happens, like tastefully done. And it's got Peter O'Toole.
Hell yeah.
Same thing with Blood Creek from 2009. I watched Blood Creek again.
So did I.
Oh, God. I love it.
I know.
You know, it's cheap, but they did what they could. It's a fucking scary movie, man. It's got a zombie horse in it. Also watched Red Dawn from 1984.
Yeah.
You know, Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, I showed that to my kids for the first time
Yeah.
a while back.
Oh, right. So you would know, a half hour into the movie, Patrick Swayze becomes Osama bin Swayze
Yes.
with the fabric over his head and the bandana. And I see the movie differently now.
That's right.
Yeah, I understand it. Finally. Andy Serkis is directing Venom 2.
Oh.
Venom 2. Andy fucking Smeagol. Right? Someone like 2 years from now is going to listen to this episode and I want to be like, is it good?
What?
Yeah. Anybody out there in 2021? Is it good?
Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
I don't get this.
I'm talking to people in the future.
I get that. Somebody's going to listen to this episode and I want to know, is it good? It's not clear what you're talking about to the people in the future. That's what I was saying.
It's Venom 2. I was talking about Venom 2.
You fucking idiot. Fucking Venom 2.
All right, moving on. Seattle has an Evil Dead 2 escape room.
Oh, man.
Dude, that's cool.
Yeah.
How do you solve it?
You know what they don't have an escape room for? Innocent Blood from 1992.
That's for good reason.
There is no escape.
I can't believe I had to do this movie. I did this movie for Candy. She thought it was a good idea. I don't know why she liked it.
Oh, this was your idea?
Oh, yeah.
It was my suggestion. And then when he said, all right, I'm going to do it. I was like, oh, well, hang on a second.
Oh, no.
By then, I was committed.
Oh, no.
I take full responsibility.
I tell you, like talking to her throughout the week or whatever, like when it began, when she first suggested this, she was like, it's good. Yeah, you should do this. And now I'm like, so, innocent blood. And she's like, I know, I'm sorry. Like, it was a trap.
No, back in 1992, this was a fun movie. And, it's got a lot of great people in it. The weirdest elements combining the female French vampire and the mafia guys. I mean, it's just such a weird combination.
Yeah. And Paralod? La Femme Nikita from 1990?
Yep.
That's where we know her from.
She's cute.
She's okay. Kind of woman John Landis would be gaga over.
Yeah. Directed by John Landis.
All right. Halfway through this movie, I called Candy. And she was like, yeah, I was going to tell you, maybe the one thing it really doesn't have going for it is that it's a John Landis movie.
Oh.
I hate John Landis. I can't stand him.
Yeah.
Can't stand us.
I heard he was a hard guy to work for.
Yeah.
I heard he gets a little hot under the collar. Written by Michael Wolk, and it's the only movie he ever wrote.
He quit while he was ahead.
Also starring Anthony LaPaglia.
Hell yeah.
In a leading man role
Yes.
that he never should have gotten.
Yeah.
He is not a leading man.
Yes, he is.
No.
He was Mike Myers' brother in So I Married an Axe Murderer
Are
from
you sure they were
1993.
brothers? I always thought they were just buddies.
Well, he's never been better than that.
That's right.
I loved him in that movie. He's got good scenes with Alan Arkin. He's like training him how to be an asshole
Yeah.
boss.
Oh, that's right.
It's great. We also got Robert Loggia. Anything?
Minute Maid Orange Tangerine. The greatest thing he's ever done.
I've always loved Robert Loggia.
Me too.
And if you search him and this movie, you end up reading something about toaster ovens. So I'm excited.
I took out the toaster ovens.
Ah.
I'll put it.
Replaced them
I'll
with
put it back
pocket
in.
Bushies.
I was getting ready to do this movie, and Chris was like, "Hey, make it dirty again. Not too nasty though, like the Naked Gun."
Only because you weren't excited. But okay, also, we got Chaz Palminteri and other mafia-type actors in
Hell
this
yeah.
movie.
We got Kim Coates.
Yeah, the paper guy from Waterworld.
Hello, people. half an hour.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
Half an hour. He's the greatest thing ever. He found such great fame on Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
He really proved himself, but he never really needed to. And you just had to just watch him in anything. In this is like one of his first movies.
Oh, yeah.
And he's just some douche standing in the background. But when he smiles, it's like, oh, God. Like he's haunting, no matter
like a
what
demon
happens, no
in
matter
human
what's
form,
going
I know.
on. Yeah. But a demon that you like might want to get to know.
Okay, I didn't mean to write these three names together. They just happened that way. But Luis Guzman, Don Rickles, and Tom Savini are in this movie.
Tom Savini's in this movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
this
want to
is a
see
John
a movie where the
Landis
three
movie.
of them like rob a bank or something.
That's right. John Landis. He's always got to do his stupid thing where he fills the movie. All of the little bit parts are cameos from other directors and movie people.
Yeah, that's cool though.
No, not the way John Landis does it. It's every 5 minutes. Okay. Also, another thing he does. Hey, I like old movies. This is my John Landis voice. I'm going to make everybody who's watching my movie watch those movies too. Every 5 minutes, we'll show somebody watching a movie, and then they'll go like this. In my movie, they'll go, shh, watch this. And then for 2 minutes, you got to watch that movie.
Yeah, I think he was really insecure.
He's a piece of shit. He's a D-bag.
Just our opinion, folks.
No, it's a fact.
Okay, the sex and nudity in Innocent Blood is severe. Just a warning, folks listening out there. And I had an idea. What if we did a Patreon, and if they paid money, they would get the sex scenes? But normally they don't on the free apps.
Oh, how graphic would it be?
You gotta... The R-rated versions of our episodes are behind a paywall. So we only publish the clean versions for free.
Yeah, but then those sex scenes, they have to be like worth money.
I know.
Yeah, you'd have to like put your soul into it.
All right, I got to put my soul into this one. I already said we'd never do Patreon, but Chris is like, man, we need to do Patreon. He's trying to wear me down.
Hey, Candy.
I want to play a game.
What you got?
This week, we're going to do vampires hard and fast.
That's because Innocent Blood is a vampire movie, by the way.
Yeah.
That wasn't noted. Do you know I looked down the film list for Movies with Ron, and sadly, this is your first vampire movie.
That can't be true.
It is fucking
Really?
true. And this is the one we went with.
Because of you.
No. I think Waxwork covered a lot of those genres.
That's true. We did have vampire in that, but
Yeah.
But this is a true vampire film. So I am going to name some popular vampires from movies.
okay.
And many of these vampires do not have last names, making it extra challenging. So you're going to tell me the actor and the movie, and you get points for each one. Number 1, Odette. Think about it.
I want to play Rutger or Rick.
The chick from Interview with a Vampire?
No.
Little girl?
Nope.
Odette.
Odette was the token female vampire in a B-movie cult classic.
The Monster Squad?
She had a very pronounced overbite for a vampire.
Fright Night?
Friday Night 2. Transylvania 6-5000.
You got it.
Oh.
Are you going to name her?
Ed Begley Jr.
Gina Davis.
Oh, that's one for Chris. Number 2, Edward Cullen.
Oh,
I had to do
Batman.
it.
Twilight, Batman. Bruce
Robert
Wayne.
Pattinson.
Good.
I said Twilight already.
All right. Number 3, Lady Sylvia Marsh.
I just did this. I don't know the lady's name, but it was Lair of the White Worm.
That it was.
She's also not a vampire.
Yes, she was.
Snake Lady.
That was Amanda Donahoe. Number 4, Barnabas Collins.
Oh, I've had better.
Yeah, I've had better.
Barnabas Collins.
Oh.
I don't know the actor's name. Oh, well, I guess we can go with
Sure.
Johnny Depp, Dark Shadows.
That's it.
You know, I fell asleep during that movie in the theater.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I was in an Alamo Draft House, too.
Oh, wow.
Best theater experience ever. I just fell asleep during that fucking movie.
That movie was fun. It was funny. Number
A lot
5.
of canned fish.
Number 5.
I pissed off my date.
Oh, man. You were on a
I
date?
fell asleep.
It's okay,
That's
Chris.
terrible.
She was a bitch.
Number 5, Viago.
Man, I want to play Rip. New Moon.
No.
Are there any more Twilight movies
No.
coming? Okay.
Just the one.
Interview with a Vampire.
No. It was Taika Waititi in What We Do in the Shadows. That was Viago. Number 6,
That was great.
Deacon Frost.
Blade. And it was the space trucker boy. The kid from the gate.
That's right.
Does that count? Stephen Dorff.
Very good. Very good. Number 7. This one's a stinker. Celine. Nobody knows her fucking name.
Moulin Rouge.
That was Satine. It was some kind of hint.
Who played her?
What movie was she in?
She starred in it with her husband and then ended up
Oh, yeah.
marrying the fucking director.
Kate Beckinsale
Right?
in Underworld.
Very
Underwear.
good. Very good. Number 8. This is a fun one. Kurt Barlow.
I don't know the gentleman's name, but it's Salem's Lot.
It is Salem's Lot. Now, do you know who played him in the 2004 version?
Rob Lowe.
Nope.
Robert Pattinson.
No. Fucking Rutger Hauer.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, shit.
Number 9. Lestat de Lioncourt.
Interview with the Vampire, Tom Cruise.
Very good. Number
Hey,
10.
hey, Stuart Townsend. Queen of the Damned.
Did he play?
I want 4 points.
Chris comes out with thunk.
I'm going to give it to him.
What was that other guy's name?
He needs it.
Stuart Townsend.
Number 10. Max Schreck.
Willem Dafoe. It's called like In the Shadow. Shadow of the Vampire.
Ooh,
Damn it.
Impressive.
I like that movie too.
Yeah.
Number 11. Jesse.
Near Dark.
Yep.
Nah, I don't know their names.
Boy that looks like girl.
What?
Well,
No.
Bill Paxton.
No.
Lance Anderson.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Got it.
Hey, all right.
Number 12. Santanico Pandemonium.
Ooh.
Nope.
Really? That doesn't ring any bells for you?
No.
Man, I remembered who that was immediately.
Chocolate Rain.
Selma Hayek from Dusk Till Dawn.
You got it.
Oh.
Man. Selma Hayek up on that stage. Robert Rodriguez is a fucking genius just for making that scene exist in the world. Like, she was the most beautiful woman ever.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Tom Savini. Crotch gun.
Yeah.
That's true. Number 13, Marlowe. It's a hard one. Because nobody really knows his name in the movie.
John Carpenter's Vampires.
No.
30 Days of Night.
All right.
Oh, okay.
That guy.
That guy.
Yeah.
Jack Houston. Mr. Houston.
It is Mr. Houston. It is Mr. Danny Houston. I'm going to give it to you anyway.
I think that's cool and fine and not at all cheating.
Number 14, David.
Fright Night.
What?
I don't know. What was his name? His name in Fright Night was great.
His name in The Lost Boys was Kiefer Sutherland.
Very good.
Oh, there you go.
And number 15, and the best. Jerry Dandridge.
Fright Night.
Jack Skellington. Colin Farrell.
Chris Sarandon.
Very good.
I said Colin Farrell.
Oh man,
Yeah,
I gotta give
gotta
you one.
give it to
You do.
him.
I do.
All right.
Yeah, two can play at this game.
Good job, Colin Farrell.
What's this? What's this?
And Ron won Vampires Hard and Fast with 17-11.
All right.
Good job, Ron. Chris, you put up a good fight.
Especially with that quadruple answer, buddy. You had me a
thought
little
I'd
worried.
I heard 11 and I was like, you sure you counted that quadruple answer?
Yeah. It might have been some sort of mistake.
All right, good job.
Excellent game.
That game sucked. You want to hear what I was going to do? I was going to make dating profiles for all of those popular vampires, maybe not all of them.
Didn't we have to do that once?
Yeah, and it was a great idea.
Like hung like a gorilla.
I want to revisit it. And the
Did
game,
like a round table.
yeah, it was going to be called Plenty of Fangs.
Ooh.
Yeah. Nice.
What happened?
Had to work.
Yeah. Too much work for candy. Here we go, innocent blood.
Man, I can't wait to hear your French.
I
girl
turned it
accent.
into a retarded old man.
God.
On Movies with Ron.
It's showtime. Get the people out! Come on! Get the people out!
What? What are you laughing for?
I just can't wait to hear what comes out of your mouth.
All right. Night, here comes the night. It's Jackie Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he sounds like. Like the Black Elvis. This guy's amazing.
Wow.
All right. So that song's going on, and it's all like, it's huge, right? And then just go across the screen, innocent blood. Oh, without you, here comes the night. And it's New York City at night, like honk honk. Everybody's honk honk, honk honk, honk honk. Cars everywhere. New York.
This is going to be good. Just stay with it.
When you are alone eternally, you live for the comfort of the senses. And that is a French woman. That's what I'm doing right there. Food. Sex. I'd become very selective. It was getting harder and harder for me to find food. Food. And we see her looking out her window. Yep. Nice little French lady. Looking out that window. Short, dark hair. Chris is like, ooh, what's she wearing? Nothing at all.
That's
She's
right.
nude.
Totally
Yeah,
nude.
she got a couple of bee stings. Just how John Landis likes it. He's like, this is a scene where you have to be naked for it's going to take like 3 days for us to shoot this. Close the set.
Watch out, John.
Yeah, turn around. I like that. John Landis.
I know there was boobs and bush 5 minutes into this movie.
Yeah, he's an ass. My choosiness about food cost me my lover. And without him, I had no sex. And her apartment is like full of lit candles. Mm-hmm. It had to have taken her like 30 minutes to light them all. So that she could take off her clothes and look out the window.
And I have that super speed.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't mean the candles will light that fast. That's super speed. Pump the brakes. Hang on now. She has super speed. She's a vampire, right? They never actually say the word vampire in this movie, so maybe we still have a clean record on the show. I have had nothing to eat for 6 nights. She starts looking through the newspapers. We see headlines like, whoa, Robert Loggia. He's all over him, okay? And his name is Sal the Shark. His bloody rise to power. Another brutal gangland slaying. Sal the Shark is wearing white this season. Like everything is about Sal the Shark in the newspaper. Then came good news. And she stands up and it's like, hardcore bush. Like, bush. So she walks around the apartment so that John Landis can watch for a while. She was like, I was sad. I was sad and starved. It was time to treat myself. I thought, what about Italian? And it's like, da-da-da! And so now we're out on the street. Because Italian, mafia, Sal the Shark, innocent blood.
There you go.
We're out in the street, and a car pulls up to, like, the oyster house. It's an oyster house where you go to eat food. And there's some goons, mob goons, outside. Yeah. One of them is David Proval, who is in this movie a lot. Get used to the name. David Proval, yeah. Look him up if you need to.
Okay.
You will find that he is one of those mafia actors.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this guy is there, he's been called to the oyster house by the mob, and his name's Jilly. He goes in.
Scusi, babidi boopy.
Hey, bippity babby. He goes in, and there's Chaz Palminteri and Anthony LaPaglia.
Woohoo.
And a whole bunch of other mafia dudes. Like all of them ever. Hey, what took you? Oh, I don't know. I had to shave. Yeah, they all sound the same. That's right. So I'm not even going to have them speak.
What?
Jilly is scared because, he got called to the big man, Sal the Shark's oyster house. Chaz looks at Anthony. He's like, hey, the big man wants you in on this. So they all go backstage at the oyster house, and they're going down hallways and down other stairs. Then they come out, and they're in a Chinese restaurant. And then they go into the basement of that restaurant, because they're being watched by cops all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where Sal the Shark is just sitting at a card table. It's during this walk that we get our first taste of old movies. Okay. Chaz Palminteri makes everybody stop. He's like, wait, look at this. Look at that. Yeah, right there. And you just see this old monster movie where it's like a Godzilla type thing, like swallows some lady. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I love that. That's like 3 minutes of your life just went by. Okay?
Oh, God.
Yeah, thanks, John. He's like, yeah, it's a tribute. Yeah, this isn't my art. I've killed 3 people in my life.
Oh, God.
And 2 of them were children. Look it up. I was acquitted of all charges. Dun-dun-dun. So downstairs is Robert Loggia.
Perfect.
Sitting at a card table. A bunch of boxes.
And the guys arrive, and we see Kim Coates, who's just like, people! half an hour. He's crazy looking, man. But he is like sexy and cool at the same time, right? And this guy, Gilly, he is not important at all. This is just to set up Robert Loggia. This is a long movie, so I'm just going to blow through it. Robert Loggia ends up killing Gilly, okay? Beating him to death with a double-ended black and pink rubber toaster oven. Because Gilly hit a shipment of them without Robert Loggia. Because Robert Loggia just took over another man's mob. He just moved in on his territory. And you work for me now. You thought I wouldn't notice.
Does he give a speech about microwaves and
Yeah, he does.
the toaster ovens are better?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something about that.
Okay. You wanted me to go back?
Pump the brakes.
You ever cook a calzone in a microwave?
There you go.
Yeah.
Comes out like a limp dick. And everybody's like, the toaster oven. See, that's Korean.
Yeah, okay.
You thought that was an iconic speech, huh?
No, I just enjoyed you doing it.
I just read about it.
The limp dick part was worth visiting.
Cook a calzone. Robert Loggia hands the gun to Anthony LaPaglia. He's like, do it. He can't, because he's a wimp. So then Robert Loggia, the guy's on the ground crying, and Robert Loggia's just like, die! And just shoots him. Boom! And he ends up, forgiving Anthony. Whatever, you're a new guy, okay. Later, outside, it's snowing, and Anthony and Chaz, they're arguing because he won't kill anybody, Anthony leaves and runs into Marie. Runs right into her.
Oh.
And he's all nice to her. He's like, oh, you dropped your shoe. I'm Anthony LaPaglia. Hey, can I give you a ride? You could use some warming up? He felt promising. She's got an inner monologue.
Right.
Oh, okay.
But his eyes were sad. So very sad. My first rule, never play with the food. And then she just shakes her head, and she just looks crazy to Anthony LaPaglia. He's just watching this woman stare at him and then shake her head. Anyway, he just leaves. Now Chaz Palminteri's leaving, and he almost runs her over with his car. He's like, hey, bump, watch out the road there. And she's like, eh. And she slams her Bloomingdale's bag down on the hood of his car. And he's like, gets out. He's ready to punch her.
Oh, jeez.
He just goes, do not touch the car. Do not touch the fucking car. This guy was perfect. Gee, I'm sorry. Don't hurt me, okay? And he's like, okay. They make up, I'll give you a lift. So they're driving. Gee, Chess, this is so great of you. I know it's a little out of your way. And he just goes, across the fucking river. So he puts on Sinatra, and she's like, there's this park. It's a great view of the city. You want to see a great view, Chess? And he's like, ay. He's all pleased with himself, and they indeed park in a secluded park. So he smiles. And they are about to get busy. She takes off her jacket, and he moves in, and she's like, hey! And he's instantly pissed off. Hey, yourself. I can tell you're excited. And she just goes, yes. And it's like, what's happening? She jumps up on his lap and starts undoing his shirt. Yeah. Does that get you hot, Chris? Taking off the buttons. He's like, come on, baby. Let's get in the back so I can have some room to move. She starts like kissing his neck. And he's like, ah! He pulls her off. He's like, what are you, some kind of freak? And then, rah, rah, rah. She's got red glowing eyes. They're amazing looking. They're glow-in-the-dark contact lenses, but they weren't both facing the same way. They're fish eyes.
What wonky eyes.
Yeah. One's going the other way.
Oh, man.
But it's terrifying. Okay. And then she just rips into his neck and feasts. Okay.
All right.
Blood everywhere. She is roaring like a cougar. If you know what I mean. Anyway, she's done. And, okay, I'm done now. She look in the mirror. She see, first of all, she see herself in mirror. Okay, so there's that. She got a bloody mouth. It make her angry. She break the mirror. And then some time goes by. It's like, da-dum. And it just cuts to her like she cleaned herself up.
Yeah.
She's like, my second rule, always finish the food. That means eliminating the feed marks and a central nervous system disconnect. So you're like, okay, all right. I follow. She gets out and then pulls a sawed-off shotgun out of her Bloomingdale's bag and then just, boom, blows his head off. You don't see it. You just see her shooting into the car, but yikes.
Yeah.
Right? The first time I saw that scene, I was like, oh, she took his shotgun and blew his head off with it at school. No, she had it in the bag the whole time.
Yeah.
That's what she slammed on the hood of his car. Jeez. What if it went off and shot her? You know? So the next day, that scene is crawling with cops, okay? And Anthony LaPaglia pulls up. Remember, he's a mobster. So you're like, what? Mm-hmm. And he looks in the car at Chaz, and he just throws up. Ugh. The coroner's like, that's okay, man. We're a little spooked. We're all a little spooked by this one. Anthony's like, standard shotgun hit. Huh? Like, nah, all of his blood's gone. There's nothing in his feet either. Anthony turns, and there's Angela Bassett.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beautiful lady.
Oh, nice.
What the hell's she doing in this? She's like, what the hell are you doing here? I heard about Chaz. He was my friend. She's like, any of these cops could be in the mob's pocket. The press is here. He was my friend. And without him, I'd be in a lot of trouble. You're not in trouble. You're gone. It's over. You're going into protection. He's a cop.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he just blew his cover by showing up to the crime scene.
That's right.
She's like, Luis Guzman, come and get him. Luis Guzman, in this movie, best performance in the entire film.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he like brings it. He's just playing, another cop in a movie about some cop, right?
Yeah.
But dude, he sells it. You remember, he's got that like, I wish I was the Latin lover type thing going on like
Yeah.
he does in every movie.
Yeah.
But rock solid. So here he comes. He's the man. You kidding me? You screwed this up. You can't pull me out now. He's going to ask me to make a hit, and I'm going to record it. And it's like, man, this guy is dumb. She looks over at the press. Here they come, starting to take pictures. I put my whole life into this. And she's just like, smile for the cameras, dummy. You showed up. This is your fault. Mm-hmm. So then it cuts to Marie the next day reading a news headline that's all about a new mob hit. And she's like, it's the first time my food has made the front page. She sees Anthony, and it's like, U.S. Attorney's secret weapon in mob sting. Anthony LaPaglia. How big is his penis? And it cuts to Sal, and he's like, that fucking pig! And his lawyer, is with him. His lawyer is Don Rickles, attorney at law. Don Rickles, attorney at law, is like, scared. Because he's had a cop. Sally, you've had a cop in your group the whole time. You're going to go to jail. They're going to freeze your assets. Robert Loggia does not care. He does not care. He's leaving the Oyster House for the night, and he sees David Proval out of the car with Marie. With Marie! He's like, what the hell is this? Oh, Sal! This is Marie. I figured we could just... I just met her. I figured I could give her a ride home after I drop you off. I got my ass on the grill, and you can't get your mind off pussy for 2 seconds. Hey, Jacko. Ain't that the prick from the papers? And he points at this guy in a car who's like taking photos of him. Yeah. Bunches fucking lights out. So Jacko goes to do this, and it is indeed Tom Savini.
Oh.
Yay! John Landis. So cool guy. Has a lot of friends. You need a lot of friends. Help you cover up your crimes.
Fucking a lot of French.
Tom Savini speeds away. Tom Savini is like the father of zombie and gore makeup,
Right.
by the way. So it's just a waste of time. Cameo. Didn't mean anything. Robert Loggia looks at Marie, and she says to him, you dress like a pimp, and you talk like a goon. What makes you news? And he's like, excuse me? She's from out of town, Sal. She must be from fucking Mars talking to me like that. Nobody calls me pimp. Nobody calls me goon. Kim Coates is there, and he's just like, oh my God, this is amazing. They call me Sally, the shark, and I pick my teeth with little girls like you. David Proval opens the door. The car door. For him, okay? Sal decides to give her a ride anyways, like, because she's got balls. I should have walked away. But he annoyed me. David Proval, he's going to drive. He gets a bag of takeout from the owner of the Oyster House, right? It's like, thanks, Gary. You're wonderful. That's 2. Meatball sandwiches. Meatball sandwiches. They drive away. There's like 5 different cars that start up and follow him. There's like the press, there's cops, there's other mobsters, Inside the car, Sal apologizes, and she smiles like, call me Sal. She's like, Marie. Marie. What do you say we make up over a little late supper? I love a late supper.
I love it.
Oui, oui. So they go to his safe house. Like, David, my hideaway. All these locks on it. There's bars on all the windows and everything. David Proval watches them walk in, and Marie walks past him. Remember, he's the one that met her first.
Right.
She walks past him and looks at him like, sorry. Ugh. Yeah, and he's just like, yeah, great. It's just great. Poor guy, David Proval.
Yeah.
Anyway, he doesn't even get to eat the meatball sandwich. Robert Loggia takes him. And they go inside, and it is a pimp palace. Sinatra's playing. He's got a circle bed.
Nice.
So he starts plating up the sandwiches, and she freaks out. She's recoiling. None for me, no. And he's like,
Hey, manja, come on. You could use a little meat on your bones.
she's like, I do not eat balls.
He's like, huh?
She's like, I have to go to the bathroom. She runs in, and she opens the window to like get fresh air, and there's bars on it.
Oh.
And then she's like, this was a mistake. He just comes in to the bathroom. Just walks on in, turns on the light. He's like,
Oh, baby. Anything I can do?
and he starts forcing himself on her. She's like,
That's right.
this light.
Damn.
Like she might have been taking a dump. This light, my eyes are sensitive.
He's like, oh, are you sensitive all over?
And she's like,
And then he grabs her by the head. And he's like, hey, don't play Mary Virgin with me. I know you've been down some dark alleys.
and like this is a lot, even for Robert Loggia. He like,
Grabs her and throws her up onto the counter. And he's like, come on, bitch. Take a ride.
Oh, shit.
and she's like, and she starts kissing his neck. Yeah, like to get things rolling.
And he's like, oh, yeah. Come on. Give it.
She goes all red-eyed and like then she doesn't not just bite your neck. She like bites a mouthful of it out.
That's right.
Damn.
Yeah. And they fall into the tub and she feeds. He struggles, pulls out his ankle piece and bang, shoots the ceiling. And it doesn't hit her or anything, but David Preval hears that, so he knows something's
damn.
going on, right? And then Sal does indeed shoot her right into the side of her belly.
Oh.
And she breaks his hand, and he like,
Dies in the tub.
So now she's bleeding, and she's bleeding like all over the place. She has to fix this wound. She gets up, and there's David Preval at the bathroom window that wasn't closed, and he's just like, looking in? And he sees his dead boss and this bloody girl, okay? Sal! Oh, God! He has to shoot the lock to get in. And now we cut to Anthony LaPaglia, Luis Guzman, and Luis's partner in this movie, Catfish from the Abyss.
Nice.
That's right.
They called this one the Hammer.
And Catfish is watching an old Dracula film. And Anthony starts to talk, and then Catfish shushes him.
Oh, God.
Makes us watch 30 seconds. The children of the night. Luis shows up. Hey, you guys. Sal is dead. Sal the shark, he dead? Anthony, you made him look so bad in front of his people, they took him out. Shit. And then he leaves. Anthony just leaves. And he goes to the crime scene. He looks in the window, sees the coroner is working on Sal, who has a meat thermometer stabbed into his belly, poked into his gut. All right? And I wanted to know, Chris, is that a thing?
Where?
A meat
Where is
thermometer.
Sal?
Dead in the tub.
Who stuck it in there?
Who stuck it in there?
The coroner.
I don't fucking know.
Like, that's not how you take the temperature of a body to see how long it's been dead.
I don't take temperatures of bodies.
He's like, I work at McDonald's.
I plug the holes. I don't make them.
I'm sure they do it anally. I'm sure that's not a thing. It doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah, it's John Landis. He's a fucking piece of shit.
Seems like anal would be something he would want. Put in there. All right, so Anthony's like, hey, there's no blood in this one either. Like, yep, nope. Was the perp a female? She had makeup, nails. You find something under his nails? Some makeup, right? It's a lady. And the coroner's like, yeah, I don't know, but it's weird. His temperature's going up. And then outside, there's David Preval and Don Rickles' attorney-at-law. Like, poor Sally. Oh, God. And then Anthony shows up, and he's like, yeah, who was she, David? And David Preval is like, who was she? Your mother! And he attacks him, and he gets held back by cops. Anthony's like, come on. He's all non-committal, egging him on because he knows he's being held back by cops. He's like, come on.
You're dead. You're already dead. We called you a friend. You're a fucking whore.
And then, boom, Anthony punches him. Oh, man. Anthony goes around the back. You like the name Anthony, folks? Because here we go. He goes around the back, and there's cops, they're taping off everything. And he climbs the fire escape, goes up to the roof, where there are no cops. And there's all this blood on the chimney with Marie's shoe.
Oh.
And he's like, and then she jumps out.
Oh.
And just roars at him and then jumps away.
No.
She just lopes off the side of the building. We're like 2 or 3 stories up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he goes downstairs. He follows her to a church cathedral. She climbs up a drain pipe, okay? Super quick. And she breaks into the priest dormitory. That's a thing. Yep, they got showers and everything. She's all covered in blood. Anthony finds a dog barking, and he sets it loose, which leads him to the pipe. And no shit, instead of just going into the building and going upstairs, he pulls a predator too. He climbs a drain pipe up the side of a building when he should not have. It's so dangerous. And he's just a human.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. This movie did come out a year after Predator 2, so that is absolutely John Landis stealing.
Oh.
It's ridiculous.
Are there priests running around in their underwear?
No. Oh. Yes. Penny raid. She steals some clothes, and she ends up silently coming down behind him, and yeah, they're in the church thrift shop. That's where she gets new clothes.
Okay.
And scares the hell out of him, and then she runs outside. So he follows her outside and then gets thrown onto the roof of the church. And then she's on top of him, and he's like, you are under arrest. And she looks at him. She's got green eyes, and they're going opposite directions again. The green fish eyes. But she goes like this. Stay away from me or I'll kill you. And then she leaves. She flies away or something. And he's just laying there. And he's like, God, just when I thought I understood some shit. And now we cut to the morgue. And the guard is watching Phantom of the Rue Morgue. Because we're in the morgue. I just think that's so clever. I'm John Landis. Have a good night. A guy wheels Sal in, because Sal's dead, right? He's in a body bag, and they're like, yeah, hey, he was such a big, tough mafia guy. Now he's just another hefty bag enchilada like the rest.
Yeah.
The coroner at the morgue is Frank Oz.
Hey, there you go.
Yep, who cares? Body bag burps. And the deputy coroner, he's like, oh my God, what the hell was that? Frank Oz is like, hey man, it's just gas, fella. Sometimes there's so much burping and farting in here, it's like being in a ball game. He opens the bag and Sal sits up.
Oh.
And he's all like,
Dead looking.
he's all bloody and he's pale. And he just goes,
What the hell hospital is this?
and the coroner just goes, this isn't a hospital. And Sal even has plastic bags over his hands. Is that a thing?
I'm not a coroner.
Yeah, but you get bodies from the coroner?
No.
That's where you buy all of your bodies.
Maybe so the fingerprints don't get wet.
What happens if they get wet? Do they melt off?
No, they'll get soggy, and then you won't get a good print.
So Sal freaks out and runs. Frank Oz is just watching. And his little deputy guy comes in. He's like, well, stop him. And Frank Oz just goes, you stop him. And he's all bloody. He's like, I want my lawyer. Outside, The press is there, and they want results on the autopsy report for Sal the shark. This is big news. And then Sal runs right by him, and they all take pictures. And then Frank Oz is like, he's following him, and he looks, and he's like, he just keeps running. So then Sal goes outside, and he steals an old gay couple's car, and he goes to his lawyer's house. Anthony's walking around, still walking around the crime scene. He got tackled by a vampire lady up on the roof, got thrown, all stuff. He just went back to the safe house to see what else he could find. And Tom Savini's there, and he tells him that Sal has been spotted alive, and he's going to Shady Side, because that's where Don Rickles, attorney at law, lives.
Oh, shit.
And Marie is still there, too. She's up, with the gargoyles. She's watching. So then Anthony gets into his car, and he still has her shoe, and he sets it.
He's like sitting there. And he puts the shoe up on the dashboard, and he's just like, And then, boom!
She just jumped right on top of the car.
Oh, damn.
So the roof is all caved in.
Yeah.
And then she reaches in through the windshield and throws him out of the car, climbs in, and starts driving away. He jumps onto the hood and goes with her. She ends up stopping. She's like, how the hell do I get to Shady Side? So Don Rickles, attorney at law, gets home. And his wife is there just like, oh, jeez, you got to see what's happening. And you just hear all this glass breaking. And he goes into his study and finds Robert Loggia just like rummaging through all of his booze. And if he doesn't like it, he just throws it. Don Rickles, attorney at law, turns on the light. And
Turn off the fucking light!
okay. Sally. Whoa, Sal, what's going on?
I can't find something that appeals, god damn it.
And he tells him, I woke up in a morgue. And a meat thermometer in me. See, look at this. And he's like,
Oh, it must have healed.
yes, Sally. You know what? Let me get you that drink.
Hey,
And he walks up to Don Rickles, attorney at law, and he's like,
you smell.
oh, I'm sorry.
You smell good.
Sally, everybody thinks you're dead. And he's like, and he just follows his nose into the kitchen where Mrs. Rickles is heating up some prime rib. And he just tears it out of the microwave and devours it. It's all gross. And he's like,
I got this appetite.
back in the car with Anthony and Marie.
You're in deep shit, lady. I know you kill mobsters. Who do you work for?
She's like, self-employed.
You do this for fun? Sport?
And he looks at her and goes,
Do you do this for the blood?
and she's like,
You're making him sound less retarded.
yeah. She wants me to.
Okay.
Do you do this for the blood?
She's like, you are a cop. Where's your cop radio?
This is not my cop car, which is why I wish you had not jumped on it.
And she's like,
Sorry, Sal's not dead, is he? Why are you after him? To kill him? If you wanted him dead, why didn't you make sure he was dead the first time you killed him?
and then she turns and she's like,
I fucked up, okay? Don't tell me in the lobster, you.
she had like glowing eyes. And
I fucked up, okay?
Oh, God.
he goes,
What the hell are you?
they stop at where Sal crashed his car because there's cops there now. Like, this was the car. He was, we don't know where he is. Luis Guzman and Catfish find Anthony and they cuff him because he's supposed to be in police custody, protective custody. Come on, we're taking you in.
No, don't do it. It's her. She chopped Sal in the neck and drained his blood. She did Chaz too. Listen, you guys, I know how this sounds.
Catfish and Luis Guzman do not believe him. Listen, Anthony, you got such a hard-on for Sal. If somebody iced him, it couldn't just be anybody, right? It had to be some blood-sucking super bitch. It's like, I know I sound crazy, I know. And what happened to your car? She jumped on it. And Catfish just fucking laughs. Put him in the car, Catfish. And so he's ushered over to the car. He looks over and sees Luis Guzman like getting fished in by Marie. Like she's all like, and he's just like, oh yeah, okay. Like he believes her. And calling me a killer, me, and the whole time he's driving like a maniac. Anthony uses the police radio to get Don Rickles' attorney-at-law's address. And he actually sneaks out of the car and runs off. Right then is when Marie excuses herself to the shitter. We see Sal pulling frozen steaks out of the freezer and just like kind of singeing them over the open flame of the stove.
Yeah.
Just kind of melting them a little and then just eating them like popsicles. And he's all slurping them. It's gross.
Ew.
David Preval, Don Rickles' attorney-at-law, and then some goon like, I don't know, Frankie. Okay? Mm-hmm. They're just staring at him. On the TV is Dracula.
I love it.
This is just stupid now. Watching people watching movies. Everybody's worried about Sal, and he's like, Anthony. Yeah, what about him, Sal? He's here. And he busts out the window and goes outside. They try to stop him, but they can't. Luis Guzman lost Marie in the shitter. She's not in there. And he when he realizes that, he just goes, he's looking around, and he just goes, fuck! It's a real good effort from Luis Guzman. So Anthony's sneaking his spy on, and Sal catches him by the throat. And like holds him up. And Don Rickles' attorney-in-law is like, no. Sal, don't murder a cop on my lawn. You're losing it, Sal. And Sal is not, he's about to like break his neck. So Don Rickles' attorney-at-law just hits him with a shovel. And he drops Anthony and is like feeling his head and looking at his hand. And they just walk inside. David Preval and Frankie tie Anthony up and start dragging him across the yard to go put him in the trunk. In the basement, Sal's like, no blood. You really whacked me. He's like, I'm sorry, Sal. You were losing it. You know, I don't know what to do. Sal like comes at him. He's like, I need you, Don Rickles, attorney-at-law. You always do for me. And he like hugs him. And Don Rickles' attorney-at-law is like, it'll be okay. It's going to be okay, Sal. Don't you worry. Do this.
Oh, shit.
And he rips his neck out.
Damn. Don Rickles, huh?
Oh, yeah. Attorney-at-law. So the goons are dragging Anthony away, and Mrs. Rickles takes a knife and goes looking for her husband. She finds him in the basement, dead, laying across Robert Loggia's lap. And Robert Loggia's face is like all covered in blood. And they're just laying there. She's like, you killed him. Nah, resting. He's dead. They said I was dead. And then he comes at her. She stabs him and leaves the knife there and like runs.
Damn.
He like looks down, pulls the knife out and just goes, oh. This shirt is disgusting. And the cops show up and the wife is like, help me. He killed my Don Rickles. So the goons and Sal leave with Anthony in the trunk. The whole time Maria's up in a tree watching. And they go to the docks. As soon as they open the trunk, Anthony punches one of them. Yeah, David Preval maybe. And Sal holds him up by the throat again. He's like, I'm gonna grind you down to blood. And screams. And they have a garbage truck, with the compactor in the back. Mm-hmm. David Preval is just like, yeah. Oh, yeah. We're going to take this nice and slow. So, Anthony, take off your shoes and get comfortable. And then they shove him in feet first. And, if you watch this scene, the timing does not work out. Like, he falls out of it, but his feet already would have been crushed. Like, when you watch it, you're like, nah, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Marie shows up and drives right at him. They drop Anthony and they shoot at her, and she just, boom, hits Sal, and he, like, tumbles over the car.
When you ride with me, you ride with the best.
One of the goons gets hit, too, and Anthony actually ends up shooting David Proval in the foot from behind his own back because he's handcuffed. This one goon is getting up, Frankie, and Marie just runs up and breaks his neck.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sal runs, and he gets in his limo and drives away. And she shoots, but she doesn't hit him, and then they gotta get in her shitbox car and chase him down the highway. If you had just left him to me, I would have stopped him before he fed. Now he's 100 times more dangerous. Anthony's like, who did he eat? Some guy named Don Rickles. Attorney at law? Maybe he's not even dead. Maybe I have to finish him too. Before he becomes like Sal? Or like you? Sal is nothing like me. He is a cold-blooded killer. And what are you? And she's just like, oh, you piece of shit. They're chasing him. Finally, she sees that dawn is coming, and they have to pull into a motel. Anthony's like, what the hell? It's over for now. And she just pulls over and says that. It's over for now. You know what Sal was before. I know what he is now. If we stick together, we can find him. I can find him now. No, he has got to get inside. So do we. You look beat. You don't look so hot yourself. You lost a lot of blood. Sure you don't need more? And she's like, don't worry. You're not my type. Sal is driving in his car and gets burned by the sun because he does not know what the hell's going on.
It's like, oh, what the hell? What is this shit?
And he's like driving and smoking, you know, like from out of the car. And he drives to a meatpacking plant. Okay. You know, a mafia place.
Yeah.
He goes in, and the only employee on duty is Sam Raimi. Fuck Sam Raimi. He's eating chicken.
Gee, Mr. the Shark.
You want I should call somebody? And Sal, the shark, goes into the freezer.
Get out of here! Hit the lights!
And he goes to sleep on a rump roast.
Nice.
Well, yeah, but you're in the freezer. Get the fuck out!
Sam Raimi goes to the red mob phone and calls it in. Okay, so Anthony and Marie, they're in a motel lobby and they're getting a room. She uncuffs him right in front of the clerk, and the clerk just laughs at him. But all these cops at Don Rickles' house, they're loading him into an ambulance. Okay, he's not dead. One of the ambulance paramedics is Dario Argento, and he just pats him on the head and says, okay, you're gonna be fine. In the motel room, it is dark and she lights candles because she keeps them everywhere, keeps them with her. He's on the couch and will not go to sleep. Would you? She's like, come on, sleep in the bed. And he goes, dream on. We have to trust each other. I'm trusting you to make sure I get no sun, and you are trusting me to make sure you're not dead. So they're all awkward. I know you're a good man. I see that. I feel that.
Yeah, well, see this and feel this. Get the fuck away from me.
I won't hurt you.
Just go to bed.
And she goes, chicken shit. And then she strips to the butt. Gets in the bed. Sleep tight. At the hospital, Don Rickles, attorney-at-law, wakes up.
Oh, shit.
And his eyes are glowing red.
Oh.
Okay. The nurse in the room doesn't see that he's awake. She's like, da-da-da, you know, sponge bathing him.
Yeah.
And his heart monitor goes, beep. Like he died. And she's like, oh shit. And it's like, beep, beep, beep. He gets up and he has red glowing fish eyes. Like, seriously, none of them are facing the right ways. And he walks up behind the nurse and he gets this big Don Rickles smile on his face. Oh, yeah. She doesn't see him. She opens the curtains. And he's ah!
Oh, shit.
He screams and burns and melts. And it is really one of the best vampire death scenes you'll ever see in your life.
Oh, that's great.
It is so wonderfully done.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, he's burning. All the staff comes in. Everybody's screaming. One of the nurses is Linnea Quigley. If anybody cares anymore, okay, she goes to help him and grabs his arm, and his arm just burns off, and it's in her
Yeah.
hands, and it's just like hot cinders. It's so cool looking.
Dang.
Anyway, he just disintegrates into smoking meat. Mm-hmm. His wife comes in just in time to see that. That's good. In the motel, Anthony wakes up on the couch, and he has to check. He goes to the bathroom, checks his neck for bites.
That fucking moron.
Yeah. And then he walks over to the sleeping vampire and hovers his hand right over her face. I don't know. He likes her. Maybe he's trying to feel if she's warm. I don't know. He's perving. Okay. Anyway, then he throws the covers over her and she freaks out. Wakes up and then she puts her hand out come on. Get into bed. We have to go. I cannot. Now's the time to get him. While he's sleeping. He will only sleep if he is not disturbed. But his senses are razor sharp. He can wake like that. And he can move like this. And she just appears behind him and slaps him on the back. Across the room. And he's like, ah! And now she tackles him and she wants sex.
All right.
Yes, she's like, I know you trust me. Well, you sort of trust me. She's got her hand down his pants. You trust me about halfway.
That's right.
And he's scared. That's why. And she's like, you can cuff me. And he does.
Do you have any sexy saxophone music?
We used it in the last episode.
Okay.
Do you have any
hold
ping-pong
on,
ball sounds?
Yeah, hold on.
Ping-pong balls. So now it's time for the sex scene. It lasts 2 minutes. That's long for a sex scene, you guys.
Yeah.
That's John Landis.
Damn.
He was like, get on the bed on your hands and knees, put your hands behind your back so that the camera can basically look up your butt.
You're really taking the joy out of this.
I've killed 3 people. They're having sex and her eyes start glowing in different colors. Rainbow fish eyes.
I know, it's really cool. They alternate with the colors.
Kim Coates and a couple other goons like David Preval, they show up at the meat place. David Preval is like, you gotta see this guy, Kim. You have got to see Sal. He's all fucked up. They go in there and Sal's like, yeah, he just woke up.
I feel fucking fantastic.
And he catches a fly and eats it.
David, come here.
And David's like, He comes over to him.
I loved you like a brother. I heard you outside saying I'm all fucked up. You son of a bitch.
And he feeds on him.
Really?
Yeah. And
Jesus.
Kim Coates and Frankie, they just start walking out. We're gonna go. And he turns and he's got these red eyes and he's like,
Don't you fucking move.
Whoa.
He keeps eating.
Put David in the trunk and give me some clean clothes.
The next morning, Anthony and Marie, they're leaving. They steal another car. Then they're smiling at each other like, hey, you know what we did? Yeah, I know. It's pretty good. Okay, we find him. We kill him. Understand?
Let's go.
And, yep, they are in love. And I'm only just mentioning it now, but this happens throughout the movie. As soon as a big scene change happens, there's Dick Tracy music, da-da, da. You know? We have vampire sex, and now it's time to move on to a strip club. Da-da! Sal and the guys get out. Open the trunk. Hey, Sal. We're right out here in the street, you know. How about we do it in half an hour? Open the fucking trunk! So he does. And David Preval, he's awake and he gets out. Jesus.
David, come on, easy, come on. I'm not gonna hurt you. You're family now.
They walk in. David's all confused, but he doesn't know what's going on, but he knows he likes it. How about that? Remember, he's also got a cast on his foot because he got shot.
Oh.
They all walk in. There is this huge crowd, okay? These 3 big boob strippers, they corner on Robert Loggia. Yeah, I knew I'd get your attention with that, Chris. And they're like, yeah, moving around. Shaking for him. And he's like, yeah. And then it shows him with these green, retarded fish eyes. And he just goes,
You girls look good enough to eat.
and they just, whoa, they back off. And the owner of the club is like, hey, Sal, oh my God, everybody thought you were dead.
Call Tommy. Tell him to get over here.
They all go upstairs, but not before the owner watches David Preval look down at his foot and smash the cast off.
Yeah.
And then he walks back, he smiles at the owner and walks up. The owner is like, shit. This is not good. So they're all walking into the private mafia upstairs lounge, and Kim and Frankie look at each other like, shit, man, we are screwed. They're in there, and Sal's like,
Boys, you don't know how big this is gonna be, but it's gonna be fucking amazing. You're gonna be made men. But when you're made by me, nobody can touch you. So fuck the Gambinos, and fuck the Colombians and the Jamaicans. We're gonna take this town.
and he puts his arm around David, who just wicked smiles at Kim and Frankie. Got a wicked smile. And his eyes glow, and then he attacks him. So he's eating Kim Coates. Frankie goes to shoot him, and Robert Loggia stops him.
Frankie, welcome to the family.
So he is building his ranks.
Oh, yeah.
All the while, Anthony and Marie are driving around town and going to the Oyster House. We don't see him here, and then eventually Anthony's just like,
Maybe he's at the strip club.
So later, Tommy and Vinny show up. More goons, right? David smiles and lets him in. Sal's there wiping blood off of his mouth, and Kim Coates and Frankie are just sitting on the couch, smiling, reading magazines with these huge bloody wounds on their necks. Tommy's like, Sal, everybody's so worried about you, man.
I don't know why. Boys, I want you to meet Frankie and Kim.
And Frankie and Kim stand up, and they're just staring at Tommy and Vinny. Yeah, Sal, we know Frankie and Kim.
You don't know them like this.
And then it just shows Frankie and Kim just smiling at him with these glowing yellow eyes.
And it's fucking creepy.
It is, man. And Kim Coates is like, chewing gum. And they just step towards him, and it cuts away. Luis Guzman and Catfish show up, to bust people. They go inside, and the music's playing get some sexativity. The owner sees them and calls upstairs and warns them there's cops coming up. They go upstairs. They're buffooning it, the Keystone Cops.
Yeah.
They bust in. Freeze! Frankie and Kim are sitting there, bloody mouthed and smiling. But Tommy and Vinny, they're laying dead in the chairs.
Yeah.
Okay? Where is Sal the shark? And then he drops down behind him.
Anywhere I want.
And he grabs their gun hands and just breaks them.
Ugh.
Da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Anthony and Marie show up to the strip club, but the doors are locked. They cannot get in, so she has to use her strength and break down the door. And Anthony's like, do you have any ones? Inside, the owner's like, get out! And he's got the clerk bat. You know? I'll swing on you. I am a girl. And then he swings. She catches it and then knocks him out with the lil end. And then they go upstairs. Right upstairs, like not even in the room, is Kim, like standing guard. Marie just grabs him, takes his gun, and throws him down the stairs. Ooh. And he's like, whoa! And he lands on top of and straddles Anthony. And his eyes are all glowing, and he's smiling, and he's chewing gum. And he's like,
I'm gonna eat your face like a chicken.
And then boom, he spits out the gum. Row, row! Anthony just pulls his gun out, puts it in his mouth, and boom, blows his brains out.
Oh.
Yeah, Kim Coates. Marie goes into the room and finds Tommy dead on the ground, still. But Luis Guzman, he's tied and gagged. He's tied to a chair, and he's like, no, 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 no. And he's trying to back away from Vinny, who is awake and has purple glowing eyes. He just turns and smiles at Marie. She aims to shoot him in the head, and then row, row, row! Tommy is up and attacks her from behind.
Oh.
No.
Anthony, who just shot a man in the head with his own gun, picks up the baseball bat and goes upstairs. You know, why do you need that for, right? Marie is being attacked by Tommy and Vinny, and she is using Luis Guzman to keep them at bay. Like, she's turning around, and she's got him in this wheelie chair, like, keeping him between them.
Yeah.
Everybody has glowing eyes. Everybody is hissing and roaring at each other. She grabs Tommy and then throws him and jumps on top of him and breaks his neck. That's how she killed this vampire. It's kind of dumb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vinny goes for Luis Guzman, and Anthony just bats him in the head. It does nothing. He turns around, he's like, "Arr." And then Anthony hits him in the face again, breaks the bat on his face. And then Vinny's like spitting out his teeth. He's like,
You broke my fucking teeth.
Marie just calmly steps in and breaks his neck. She's a neck snapper. Okay? That's all you gotta do to kill a vampire. Remember in the beginning, though, to be fair, she did say, a central nervous system disconnect.
That's true.
So she ungags Luis Guzman, and he's like, shoot her, Anthony! She's a fucking monster! She's one of them!
She's with me.
Oh, okay. You okay, man?
Yeah, where's Sal?
He's here somewhere, man. Oh, my God. Everybody's a monster.
Get out of here and call for backup.
Okay. There goes Luis Guzman. On the roof is Sal, Frankie, and David Preval.
Looking out at the city. Well, boys, we got the muscle. We got the hunger. We're gonna crack this town like a lobster.
Marie, like, sneaks out. She has a gun. And then Sal's just like,
Let's call it a night.
and they all turn, and Marie just immediately, boom, shoots David Preval right in the forehead. He falls off the side of the building. Oh. Frankie shoots her, but he misses. And then Marie just shoots him in the head. Boom!
So now it's just her and Sal.
And then she shoots him. Click, click, click. Empty.
Shit.
Oh.
And he's like,
And he puts his arms out like, hey, come on.
and he walks up to her. He's like,
Hey, little girl, I got a question for you.
and he gets all close and he's like,
Scratching his neck where she bit him. You gave me something, and I like it.
While he's talking, she reaches behind herself and grabs the doorknob and pulls out the, little spine thing that comes with it.
Why did you give me this thing and then try to blow me away?
Well, Sally, I'm pretty fucked up about men. And then she attacks him with the doorknob thing, and he just
Grabs it and stops her. No. You know, I might actually miss you.
And then he puts his gun in her gut and shoots her 3 times.
Boom, boom, boom.
Oh.
Anthony comes out. Huh? And he shoots Sal a few times. It doesn't matter. And Sal just jumps over the side of the building. He goes to check on Marie. She's like, I'm okay. Get him. Get him! Anthony looks over the side and sees Sal down on the street. And he's like, he's like flipping him off like, vaffanculo. And then boom! He gets smashed between a bus and a taxi.
Oh, shit.
Anthony goes, he's okay. He just starts running downstairs to go, I don't know, make sure he's dead. When he gets attacked by catfish, whose eyes are blue. And Anthony just goes, no! Boom! And shoots him in the head.
Shit.
No.
Yeah. He was a cop.
Yeah.
Sal gets up. Fuck! He busts into the bus and grabs the driver.
Where the fuck did you learn to drive?
And he throws him out. And now, Anthony and Marie have a showdown in the street with Sal.
Damn.
And Sal's laughing. He's like, come on. But these two vehicles just wrecked. So Anthony sees gasoline on the ground, like pooling up.
Yeah.
And Sal just smiles at him. Anthony lights his Zippo. And Sal is like not worried. And then he drops it and boom. This quiet little fire trail starts and goes and, starts burning around Sal. And he's just like, what? And then, boom! The whole thing blows. It all goes up, okay? And they're like, Anthony and Marie are just like, okay. Okay, I guess we did it, And then you just hear,
Hey! You fuck!
Sal, a flaming Sal, just walks out of the fire. And he is like, burning, baby! But he's not panicking. He's a Remy Zada. Okay?
Yeah.
It is no problem. He's just standing there laughing and melting. Like his face starts crisping up and cooking.
You think you can kill me? What you killed here is my fucking suit. I paid $3,000 for this suit. But what's money?
He is burning, okay?
Yeah.
Like his face is like starting to get red hot.
Blood. That's how you keep score. People and their stupid lives.
And Anthony and Marie are just like watching him burn.
They're like sheep.
And he's burning. He puts his hands up in the air and he's like screaming out to the rest of the city.
You'll feed me, sheep. You're my sheep now. And you can't hide.
And his face is like burning cinders.
I know what you think. I know what you taste like. I could smell your fucking dreams.
Yeah, damn, right?
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
I am the power. You fucking cockroach. I am the light. I am Sal.
And Anthony just shoots him in the head.
Boom. And he stops and falls into cinders and ashes.
Oh.
Yeah, this is actually pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
And then Anthony turns around and Marie is already gone. She's already walking away, leaving him. And he's like, what? What?
Yeah.
And he starts chasing her. Marie! Marie! No! Where are you going? To watch a sunrise. Dawn is coming.
Yeah.
You don't want to die? I died a long time ago. Don't make me hurt you. I love you. And she stops. And he's like, come on. And they go into some building, which is conveniently a hotel. Okay. And in the lobby, they're putting their hands on each other's cheeks. And she just goes, I take lives. Yeah, well, if you were perfect, you'd still be single. And she's just like, he made me feel alive. And I thought, why not? And we get one of those stupid face credit sequences where everybody turns around for their name. Yeah.
Damn.
So then they roll, baby. And that's it. Innocent Blood on Movies with Ron.
Hey,
Yay.
good job, man.
Thanks.
You did do a good job.
Oh, thank you.
I don't care what you say about this movie. I know you didn't like it, but I really enjoyed that. And your Robert Loggia made the whole thing worth it. It was excellent.
Don Rickles was great in this movie. Don Rickles and Luis Guzman.
They're always great.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
love them.
There's this scene where Don Rickles is in his hospital bed and he's in the background. The camera's focusing on the nurse and they show him sit up and open his eyes behind her. And it is creepy as fuck. The makeup was really good in
Don
this movie.
Rickles was scary when he was a vampire, man.
So with all the vampire stereotypes, like they kind of covered with What We Do in the Shadows, if you could be one of those stereotypes, which one would you choose? Would you be a grungy Lance Henriksen or a refined Lestat? What kind of vampire would you be?
I'd be a sexy Jerry Dandridge.
The nightclub Jerry.
That's right.
Oh, yeah, man.
Wearing the tracksuit or something,
That
whatever he's
weird
wearing.
No,
gray
no.
sweater.
That's-
V-neck sweater.
V-neck sweater.
It's like cool gym clothes.
Ding, ding, ding,
It's
ding,
just,
ding,
you have to
ding,
see
ding,
it.
ding, ding.
Yeah, it's great.
And then he rocks that big overcoat at one point when he's chasing him through the city.
I saw this one vampire movie called Immortal with Jude Law. And it's all about his relationship with this woman.
Yeah.
And then he sucks her blood.
Oh.
And it's like, at the end, he's like, it's not the blood, it's the love. That's what makes me immortal. I wouldn't be that vampire, but you guys should see that movie. It's pretty good. I don't know. I'd be Lance Henriksen.
He's so dirty.
Sir, you are no Lance Henriksen.
I would be Bill Paxton. Hey doing, Abe and Shane.
You'd be the little guy that slept in the bathtub.
You know, it's a weird thing with vampire movies because that's why I like this one. Robert Loggia, like, biting into Don Rickles.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of vampire, and, oof.
You got to see the part where her voice changes. It was so fucking hilarious when Ron did it. You got to hear it. It's the weirdest thing when you see it in real life. Too.
I got it. I would be the vampire that is the mom's new boyfriend from Lost Boys. That kind of guy.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Just a sweet guy, entrepreneur, but I have a team of teenagers that do my bidding, you
I
know?
like it.
I love that answer.
Like, you could tell he was a swell dude to be an underling of.
Right.
Like he probably wasn't a perv,
Right.
because those were like hot rocker dudes. And you'd think he'd be a creep, but I'm sure he like really likes the mom. You know, he's like,
think
I
so,
got
too.
an empire
He did.
here.
It's so much easier
Why don't
if
you?
don't
Why don't
fight.
we? Let's blend families. All right, folks, blend your fingers with that subscribe button, and if you're using Apple Podcasts or iTunes, how about a rating and review? We'd love to hear from you. We got a Facebook page. There's Twitter @MoviesWithRon, or on all your favorite podcast apps and movieswithron.com. It's been fun.
Yep, we love you.
See you guys.
Movies with Ron.
What two little kids are you talking about? How did he kill two kids?
All right, let's get into it. All
right,
right,
okay.
after the recap. Post-recap trauma.
John Landis directed the segment of Twilight Zone the movie where Vic Morrow is a racist and he ends up going through, you know, at one point he's treated like a black man during the, you know, the lynching days.
Right.
And then he's a Jew in the Nazi Germany. Mm-hmm. And at one point he's a Vietnamese guy during the Vietnam War being chased by U.S. soldiers and terrorized by them. Right?
Right.
And he finds these two kids, and he wants to save them. He picks them up, and he goes running through this little creek. And there's a helicopter over him, and it's hovering right over them. And in real life, that helicopter right then crashed and cut 2 of their heads off and crushed one of the kids to death.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Vic Morrow and one of the kids were beheaded. There is video of this because it was all on film.
Oh, God.
It's on YouTube. You can watch it. And you can, if you slow it down and stop it, you can watch the second when their heads separate. You can see it.
Oh, Lord.
It's horrible. And a couple of years later, John Landis went on trial for involuntary manslaughter with a couple, like maybe 6 other people.
Yeah, there's a big investigation.
Yeah, it was huge.
Miscommunication with the pilot and the helicopter.
Okay.
Pyrotechnics getting set off at the wrong time.
And that was the director's fault?
That was
people
also
being scared because John Landis was a big asshole.
Oh.
it was 2:30 in the morning, and those 2 little kids were not supposed to be working at that point. Those child labor laws were being flouted, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people say that at the trial, John Landis seemed like he didn't give a shit.
Oh.
And another thing is, I don't know how accurate this is, but it's said that the jury thought John Landis was, because he kept writing on a notepad during the trial, like scribbling and doodling. Mm-hmm. They thought he was writing a script based on the trial.
Oh, God.
And they were like, well, he can't make a movie about this if he goes to prison. So, I don't know how accurate that is.
No.
But he was acquitted of all charges.
Because the jury wanted to be in a movie?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
And Vic Morrow's last words were, man, why didn't I get a stunt double?
Are you serious?
For real.
Jesus. Vic Morrow was like a national treasure.
I don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah, he was in this show called Combat, and he was in a whole shit ton of like B movies, but man, he was great.
Yeah.
All right. There we go. What do you want to talk about now, guys?
We can talk about Max Landis now.